Hey everyone, today we are diving into the intriguing world of software development to answer a burning question. What's the difference between a coder and a software engineer? Stick around because this is going to be a eye opener. Have you ever started a project and halfway through the project you felt completely lost? Like you're swimming in code and not knowing what's happening anymore. Imagine you are a coder that isn't engineering a project. They're like a frog in boiling water, writing highly coupled code and not knowing what they're doing. They keep writing code without giving it a thought, and the code gets really, really coupled. And when you want to make changes to this code, it breaks in unpredictable ways. And this continues until there's no progress at all. But how do we avoid this? By thinking like a software engineer. When tackling a problem, the engineer follows a systematic approach. The given requirements are broken down into a set of functionalities which are broken down into smaller services that he implements. And these services are implemented in such a way that they're decoupled and they can be reused anywhere. And the engineer pushes this into production and continuously monitors it and improves it. And this is like an iterative process. As an engineer, it is critical that you have to be critical of everything that you're doing. So every decision that an engineer takes, he looks for alternatives, and instead of reinventing the wheel, what they do is they look for already existing solutions and reuse them in their project. Remember that every line of code that we write has a cost. We'll have to maintain and extend it as the requirements change over time, so it's essential to write code that is easy to manage. A great rule of thumb to remember is all components that we write must be shy and expose only the necessary details. So we use contracts and expose only the necessary details so that whoever is using our components will only depend on what we want them to depend on. If we don't use this approach, what happens is the clients who are using our component might depend on the things they shouldn't depend on, and this creates coupling. A major issue with coupling is that it creates unpredictable dependencies. And if you expose something unnecessary, someone else might depend on it, and when you plan to extend or add functionalities to it, the code might break in unpredictable ways. This will require extensive refactoring for every single change. And if there is like a lot of coupling happening here, any single change will require a lot of work, and this happens until the progress is completely stopped. Consider you have a diverse set of music products and you have written an audio effect service for it. If it is engineered correctly, you can use the same component if you decide to build a video editing product. So to move this component, it won't be like a lot of effort if you have engineered it properly, because it's fairly decoupled and it only exposes a few things through interfaces. And we can design similar systems at our video editing service as well, which follow this contract and reuse the same component there without much effort. If the component is highly coupled though, so what happens now is you'll end up needing a lot of refactoring, and moving this component out of the music platform would seem like impossible. So what you end up is you'll rewrite the whole audio effects service, and this will require a lot of free work and redundant work at your end. An engineer will move out configuration outside the code. So he'll move the configurations outside the code, making it easy to switch between configuration based on the end user. For example, let's say we want to do versioning of audio systems. We can move the configuration of using a certain audio effects engine's version into a configuration file, and based on the end user, we can decide on either to use the latest version or to use the previous version, and look at the difference uh, in how these versions actually behave in real production environments. So this is called as canary testing. So that's what the software engineer will move these nitty-gritty details outside the code so that it can be easily configured without actually changing the code itself. So if you change the code, it might break in production. So rather than changing the code itself, you just change the configuration files and ensure that there is no unpredictable behavior that happens in prod. An engineer designs a decoupled system with shy components that exposes only what is necessary. So this is the main focus of this video. So we have to design shy components which only expose what is necessary, so that there are no unpredictable dependencies, and whenever you make change, your code doesn't break in unpredictable manner. So if we follow the shy components pattern, what happens is it's easy to isolate the changes without causing a ripple effect. So next time you start a project, ask yourself, am I just coding, or am I engineering a solution? The difference can make or break your project success. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. See you next time.